Today is your mother's birthday. It's May 8th, 2020. I'm going to be listening to the Misfits' Earth AD / Wolf's Blood, which came out December 1983. I'm just going to do the original 9 tracks, not the extra 3, but in addition to Earth AD / Wolf's Blood, I'm going to be doing a bunch of B-sides and singles. A lot of it coming off of like Legacy of Brutality, Collection 1 and Collection 2, which some of them are the original single version, but a lot of it was re-recorded or overdubbed by Glenn Danzig on some of these tracks. Like I think a lot of them on Legacy of Brutality. I think even Collection 1, maybe even Collection 2, I'm not sure. I did the best that I could to give credit where credit is due on all of the track listing. I also picked some versions over others just based on preference. So I'll start off with Earth AD's track listing and credits, and then get into the B-sides and singles. As for when the B-sides came out and all the singles, theoretically as early as 1977 and as late as 1995, because Collection 2 came out in 1995, specifically November 14th, 1995. Like I said, some of these tracks were overdubbed, so I don't know. It's a little mysterious in a way. I really don't feel like putting in the research to find out which ones were fucking overdubbed and whatnot. As for Earth AD / Wolf's Blood, giving credit where credit is due, Glenn Danzig does vocals, Doyle does guitars, Jerry only does bass, Robo does drums, and I guess there's a guy named Spot who is the producer. The track listing is as followed, I'm fucking stupid. Track 1 is Earth AD at 209. Second track is Queen Wasp at 132. Third track is Devil Lock at 126. Fourth track is Death Comes Ripping at 153. Fifth track is Green Hell at 153. Sixth track is Wolf's Blood at 113. Seventh track is Demonomania at 45 seconds. Third track is Blood Feast at 229. And ninth track is Hellhound at 116. The B-sides and singles I'm going to be doing are Who Killed Marilyn at 156, Where Eagles Dare at 158, Halloween at 146, American Nightmare at 142, London Dungeon at 235, Horror Hotel at 127, Ghouls Night Out at 158, Halloween 2 at 213, Cough/Cool at 216, Rat Fink at 152, Horror Business at 246, Children in Heat at 207, Die Die My Darling at 310, and Mephisto Waltz at 145. I believe if I do all of these tracks, I'll be hitting every single Glenn Danzig track. Glenn Danzig's one of my fucking favorite composers, performers, musicians, etc. Of all time, in my opinion. Though for some reason I'm not as interested in his work after Misfits, like Sam Hain and Danzig. Just too metal for me, I guess. I'm more of a punker, I guess. Alright, so this is gonna be fucking complicated as hell, but I'll do the best that I can. Hopefully I didn't fucking forget anybody or mess up anything. But if I don't mention bass or, fucking piano or even vocals or whatever, it's either gonna be backing vocals as well. Glenn Danzig and Jerry Only. I do mention Jerry Only sometimes because there are some times where there'll be another bassist like Ari Vaughn. He's in Mephisto Waltz, but when we get there. Okay. So, Who Killed Marilyn is off of Legacy of Brutality. It's track 9. And Bobby Steele does guitar. Joey Image does drums. Jerry Only does bass, and Glenn Danzig does the rest. And I'm probably not going to keep on saying that, but once again, so for the most part, all these tracks all got Glenn Danzig, he's got all, he's all over it. Same with Jerry Only for the most part. For Where Eagles Dare, that's also Legacy of Brutality, track 10. It's got Bobby Steele on guitar, Joey Image on drums, and etc. Jerry Only, Glenn Danzig. Halloween is off of the one that I'm going to be doing is off of Legacy of Brutality, track 12. It's got Bobby Steele on guitar, Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein on guitar, and Arthur Googie on drums. Once again, like I said, Jerry. Like I said, I'm not gonna fucking say that anymore. Okay, so American Nightmare, which is also the last. Well, it's the last track off of Legacy of Brutality that I'll be doing. It's track 13. It's got Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein who's clapping. Jerry only does bass and claps. Arthur Googie does drums, and Rocky Kaifa does clapping as well. And once again, I mean, fucking Glenn Danzig and fucking Jerry only, which I did mention this time around. London Dungeon is off of Collection 1. It's track 11. It's Bobby Steele on guitar, Jerry only doing bass, and Arthur Googie doing drums. Horror Hotel, and I don't know why the fuck I did it in this particular order. I think I did it based on like when it came out originally. But once again, when it was recorded or re-recorded or overdubbed, whatever, I'm not gonna fucking do that goddamn research, man. Horror Hotel, Collection 2, Track 8. It's got Bobby Steele on guitar, Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein guitar, Jerry only on bass, Arthur Googie on drums, and once again, Glenn Danzig on fucking everything. Ghouls Night Out, Collection 1, Track 12, Bobby Steele on guitar, Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein doing backing vocals and guitar, Jerry only on bass, Arthur Googie on drums. Halloween 2 has got Collection 2, or Halloween 2 is on Collection 2, Track 10. And it has Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein on guitar, Jerry only on bass, and Arthur Googie on drums. Once again, Glenn Danzig on the rest. Cough/Cool, Collection 2, Track 3, Jerry only on bass, Manny Martinez on drums, and once again, Glenn Danzig. Rat Fink, which is actually a cover which is originally done by Alan Sherman, Johnny Lee Willis, and Deacon Anderson. But like I said, it's off of Collection 2, Track 7, and it has Bobby Steele on guitar, Jerry only on bass, and Joey Image on drums, and Glenn Danzig for the rest. Horror Business, Collection 1, Track 4. It's got Bobby Steele on guitar, Joey Image on drums, and Jerry only on bass, and Glenn Danzig for the rest. Vocals and whatnot. Children in Heat, Collection 2, Track 6. It's got Bobby Steele on guitar, Jerry only on bass, Joey Image on drums. Once again, Glenn Danzig on the rest. Die Die My Darling off of Collection 1, Track 5. It's got Bobby Steele on guitar, Joey Image on drums, Jerry only on bass, and once again, Glenn Danzig for the rest. And Mephisto Waltz, Collection 2, Track 15. It's got Ari Vaughn for bass and drums, and Glenn Danzig for the rest. I also forgot to mention We Bite. We Bite is 114, and it is written by Glenn Danzig, Jerry only, Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein on guitar, Jerry only on bass, and then Robo on drums. And once again, did I mention that Glenn Danzig wrote all the fucking songs? And fucking, Jerry only, I guess. I guess it could be argued that because Jerry only continued the Misfits, it was allowed to, spread across the world more, I guess. I don't fucking know. One cool thing that I noticed since I started doing like B-sides and singles for various bands and whatnot, you get to really see a band from start to finish in a way. How they kind of changed in variation or maybe not. In particular, Earth AD/Wolf's Blood, I haven't listened to pretty much at all. Not sure why. I mean, I guess I was just more into Walk Among Us and Static Age. I just felt like it was just too hardcore, I guess, too hardcore punk or whatever. But maybe it's just because of when I saw like the fucking odds, the start of hardcore punk music, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, eh. But I was listening to it just for a second, just a moment ago, and I was like, that sounds actually pretty fucking good. It's almost like, why the fuck did I not listen to these tracks? Besides the popular B-sides and singles, I haven't even listened to a lot of these other ones. So, I mean, it's going to be kind of a first take kind of thing, which might be a bad thing, but I really don't think so. I think it's honestly going to be a good thing. The formula or formation of what I do first and last and whatnot. Typically, I normally do the lyrics last. I was trying to do lyrics first, but I don't really feel like doing lyrics right now. I just want to fucking listen to music. I was also thinking about doing like listen to a song, then fucking doing the lyrics and listen to a song. But I just feel like that's just gonna be fucking tedious as well. It's honestly, I mean, realistically, that seems like the most natural, I guess. But I guess we'll see. I'm just gonna start fucking listening to it and figuring it out from there. I guess one last thing I'll say is Earth AD is an extremely short fucking album. I mean, not only is it 9 tracks, a lot of these tracks are fucking like no more than 2 minutes, if not like some of them are fucking like a minute and a half or something like that, or even less. On one side it's kind of cool, but on another side it's like, all right. I mean, in reality, how fucking short are you gonna make a song? I mean, no one's gonna get down to a 4 fucking second song. I'm sure someone fucking has already done that shit, but it's still like, it's like I don't know, man. All I'm saying is, if I bought that fucking Misfits album, Earth AD / Wolf's Blood, when it came out, and it was like, retail price or whatever, full price, and there's only 9 tracks, and it's only like, I don't remember how fucking long, it's like only like 17 seconds, or 17 minutes like long, or something like that. I'd just be kind of fucking pissed a little bit. I mean, I guess it's got some replayability. It's half the length of a normal fucking album, so like, why not play it again? While other people are just like, oh man, it's so fucking punk. When is that 4-second track coming? I was looking at the lyrics for Earth AD. I'm going to be doing all the lyrics at the end. Fuck doing it right now. I did think it'd be kind of interesting to do, listen to the song and then talk about the lyrics afterwards, but these lyrics are fucking long as hell, and the songs are fucking not. There's going to be some times where I get pretty technical. I do this for a reason. Ask the question of why I like in the first place, what they did, their techniques, and all that shit. To begin, Earth AD, it starts off with guitar reverb, then there's a count in at about a second. The band comes in at about 2 to 3 seconds, and then Glenn comes in vocally at about 14 seconds. This is definitely, very typical hardcore punk, but at the same time, though, once again, this is, around when hardcore punk was really starting. So technically everyone was kind of, copying this sound. I mean, I guess it could be argued that hardcore punk started as early as like late 70s, but kind of punk kind of started around mid 70s, I guess. Maybe a little early. I mean, you got fucking, I guess you can argue once again the Stooges kind of started fucking late 60s, early 70s. But anyway, and that's kind of even like almost hardcore, but not, it's literally, I mean, anyway, it's different. I just, once again, I feel like, hardcore punk is just kind of like a little bit more stone-headed. The sound is, it's still pretty like horror-like, it's definitely reminds me of Halloween, but, or at least October, fucking fall and whatnot, dungeons and shit, creepy crawlies, but definitely a different difference in sound. It's a little bit more aggressive than it was before, especially like Walk Among Us. Originally, they were kind of like this, like, I guess a little bit more of a faster-paced garage rock, and then once again, kind of having that horror theme definitely throughout, but this is a little different. I mean, it sounds like if you fall in, you're going to get blended up. At about like 42 seconds, like the drum slows down, forcing the band to slow down. I mean, then about like 50 seconds, there's a drum fill. Then at about 57 seconds, returns back to like that original, how it started, I guess. Yeah, I mean, once again, like in terms of verse, chorus, verse, I'm sure it's fucking in there if you look at the lyrics, but I don't know, man, like it's just so, I mean, it's blended together, song structure wise, that, I mean, besides, there's those moments where it literally, I would say like sputters out or whatever, like kind of like an engine or whatever. I mean, it's a lot more fast paced, yeah, you can definitely tell Glenn is pissed. Queen Wasp, for example, definitely has that return to Walk Among Us, but once again, it's so much more faster paced, and it just sounds so much more like a fucking blender right now. Song structure wise, there's like some call and response work. I mean, it's just so fucking, and it's only a minute and 32 seconds long. It's crazy, man. So I wanted to write down, the times when things change, but it's just so fucking fast. Like I literally, there's and the moments when they change are so abrupt and they're so short that it's like, like once again, it's like the fucking the engine just sputters for like a second. Like that's a drum fill, and the drum fills. I mean, it's excellent composition work. They are nailing it right now. It's perfect in a way, but I song structure wise, once again, the only way I could potentially tell the verse, chorus, verse, in my opinion, is if I checked out the lyrics themselves. There's some call and response work. Now I'm in Devil Lock. Everything starts up again. Like, it's just fucking. The sound is pretty much the fucking same. It doesn't really change up too much. There's definitely variation in melody and whatnot, but yeah, it still just sounds like a horror blender. Like it's a very aggressive horror. Like it's like this fucking blender is possessed. Glenn is fucking pissed. For Devil Lock at about like 110, like I said, like the drum kind of like sputters out like an engine, and then like kind of forcing the rest of the band to kind of fucking follow suit. For Death Comes Ripping, there's like a little bit of a breather of air, a little bit of reverb guitar before the drums fucking explode in at like about 14 seconds or 13 or 12 or whatever, or 10. I don't even fucking remember, man. And the rest of the band comes in. It's just so fucking aggressive, man. It's like not even fuck. Like Static AD and Walk Among Us once again are pretty aggressive. They're pretty angry, but like not like this. Like this is like times 10 right now. It literally just sounds like a roller coaster ride, and you're probably gonna throw up at least or die. I guess for accuracy's sake, the drums kind of come in at about 6 seconds, and then the rest of the band come in at about 8 or 9 seconds. But besides that, I'm trying to get a little more technical, because that's fucking why I'm doing it in the first place, man. Glenn comes in at 14. Once again, it seems like the song structure is pretty almost identical from fucking Earth AD to this. Alright, so about 39 seconds is like the first notable, for me anyway, that I'm like really like, this is definitely a definitive chorus right now. Dude, like, holy shit. At about 51 seconds, it goes into a really quick fucking instrumental break before going into the verse again at about like 59 seconds. It goes back to a chorus at like 104. At about 132, it kind of closes out. I will say I can definitely notice that this sounds very much so like a precursor to pop punk, and I fucking hate pop punk. It's literally like a fucking hornet's nest, man, or a fucking bee's nest. At least bees give you fucking honey. Hornets just fuck you up. Green Hell starts out a little subdued guitar-wise, but then it kind of explodes back into how the rest of the album has sounded so far. There's just like something off about this album, like compared to once again like Static Age or Walk Among Us. It's just there's some fucking maybe some internal conflict. Or, I'm sure there's gotta be. I believe if I read right at some point, some point while I fucking read up on fucking the Misfits, I'm sure they had some kind of arguments and shit. They had to have. But, it kind of reminds me of how, like, Crystal Castles 3 was definitely, like, it's a pretty decent album, but there's definitely some kind of fucking internal conflict going on, or even, say, Sonic Youth, for example, by Rather Ripped, or even maybe even before that. Glenn Danzig seems to be extra angry on Wolf's Blood. It's almost like he's fucking foaming at the mouth, man. Demonomania seems to be a little bit more closer to how it used to be, but once again, a little bit more aggressive. I'm trying to think of, I don't know what track this reminds me of right now. Now, I tried looking through the discography of the Misfits, and I just, for the time being, I can't remember what. It reminds me of another track. Maybe I'm gonna fucking listen to it on the B-sides or singles, but, it just kind of sounds like a sequel, if anything. Or maybe that was the original and they made a blah blah blah, I don't know. But, anyway, continuing on. I did definitely give up on trying to figure out the technical side of song structure. It just seems like he fucking definitely wrote this shit out onto a piece of paper and had people memorize it, and there's distinct drum fills and change ups and whatnot. It's just so fucking quick and like literally, honestly, it's like I can't. I would have to listen to these tracks a number of times just to try to even comprehend some of the fucking song structure. Um, I mean, for the most part, some of it seems to be the verse, chorus, verse based on call and response or some kind of backing vocal for the chorus. Generally, not always. Yeah, man. Blood Feast seems to definitely be at least kind of a step back. It's a little fucking subdued frustration wise. I mean, it literally almost sounds like a return to how the Misfits were beforehand. The song structure is pretty noticeable on this fucking track, finally. I'm also sure, now that I've listened to this album pretty much all the way through, I could probably pick out the song structure a little better, I'm sure. I mean, especially with Blood Feast being a little slower, I was able to make it a little easier. Like I said, it starts off with guitar reverb. I mean, most of these fucking tracks have like guitar reverb starting it out. About 3 seconds of drum, and like the rest of the band. Well, I'd say the rest of the band come in at about 3 seconds. It's like this build up, and Danzig comes in at about 15. I'd say the chorus starts at 27. Then it goes to verse at 37. Goes back to chorus at 101. Then there's like this crazy little drum fill at like 114. 120's got an instrumental break. Goes back to the verse at 132. Then it goes back to the chorus at 145 with another drum fill similar to 114, but then again at 158. And then it ends with an instrumental break at 204. This track definitely reminds me more of like garage rock, kind of like the roots of what the Misfits are. It's still a little bit more aggressive, but I mean, I could definitely see this on like either Static Age or Walk Among Us. Probably Walk Among Us though. Hellhound ends this possessed blender. Glenn just sounds like a rabid dog, man. Don't get too fucking close. Time to get on the fucking teacup ride. Holy shit. And that's about it for Earth AD, Wolf's Blood. Now we're on to the B-sides and singles. I'm starting off with Who Killed Marilyn, which already has, it's not as aggressive. I mean, honestly, it's a little emptier even. I mean, definitely even, like, I would say, it's, I don't want to say, like, lo-fi, but I mean, almost that kind of garage rock kind of quality. That was even in Earth AD, but that seemed to be a little bit more filled in compared to, once again, going back to something like Who Killed Marilyn. I mean, I don't know, once again, from like, 1977 to, once again, 1995. I'm not sure when the fuck it came out. I mean, I wish I should honestly have probably done it in the order it came out, but it is what it is. But once again, it definitely is a return to that garage rock kind of sound. It's definitely, still got that horror theme clearly. I mean, once again, like, honestly, Earth AD just seemed like you were just fucking in hell, compared to this one, you're just kind of like in a fucking haunted house. Like, the guitar definitely sounds like a fucking blender, don't get me wrong, but I mean, like, it's just definitely, not as aggressive, not as frustrated. Once again, there's a little bit more atmosphere, I'd even say, a little bit more open space. At about 29-30 seconds is definitely a notable shift in the song structure, so I imagine that's either like either chorus, that probably was the chorus. At about 41 seconds, it goes back to the verse. I guess I'll mention that Glenn starts his vocals at about 5 seconds, but the band kind of starts it out like immediately. At about like 52 seconds, it sounded like there should have been like a guitar solo or something like that, or something like sputtered out or something like that. I mean, it was kind of weird. It wasn't like a very loud sputter out, but it sounded like the guitar kind of like just like, I don't even fucking know, man. 57 seconds it goes back to the verse. 108 it's like this pre-chorus, or it's like the chorus or whatever, and then 120 it's kind of a like either the second chorus or once again like if it was a pre-chorus it goes into the chorus. And then about like 131, it kind of like closes out with the sort of an instrumental break. You got Glenn howling or shouting or whatever. Where Eagles There is a fucking phenomenal track. I mean, this is definitely one of my favorite tracks by the Misfits of all time. I've listened to it hundreds of times. Bass and drums start out where Eagles There. Guitar comes in at about 5 seconds. Glenn comes in with the verse at about 11. Jumps to the chorus at 26. Goes to a very short instrumental break at 36. Jumps back to the verse at 41, then back to the chorus at 52. Instrumental break at 102, verse at 107, chorus at 128, and then it kind of closes out. If anyone were to ask me what Misfits track I would show them, it'd probably be this one. It's like a fast-paced garage rock. In terms of like imagery, like it just reminds me of like fucking how eagles chill by fucking waterfalls, like these, and specifically like that one. There's like some waterfalls that are just so fucking high that I think they're taller than the fucking they reach the clouds and shit, and the water that's going over just fucking, it's just like falling for so long it's like turning into like water vapor or mist. That's where the eagle's there, man. Halloween starts off with a very ominous guitar pluck. Drums kind of like run in shortly after. The song really starts up, or the verse starts up anyway, at like about 7 or 8 seconds. One thing I forgot to fucking talk about was Glenn Danzig's vocals in the last couple of tracks. For the most part, in terms of like Earth AD, Wolf's Blood, it's kind of like that shouting, spoken word kind of. It's not really. If there's singing, it kind of goes into that chorus. Specifically for like say Halloween, you got that like almost like, once again, it sounds like he's almost like running spoken word vocals. A little pretty aggressive, I'd say. Kind of shouting, definitely. And then it goes into that more of like that crooning, singing. It's still kind of spoken word-esque, but yeah. I guess in the case of Halloween, he's just kind of singing Halloween over and over again. It's like he's howling at the moon. In terms of song structure, it goes verse at 7 seconds. There's like this pre-instrumental chorus at 40 seconds. It goes into the chorus at 52 seconds. At about 101, it goes back into the verse, but then it just suddenly just transitions into the chorus at 113, and it kind of closes out that way. But once again, just for the chorus anyway, he's just saying Halloween over and over again. So yeah, pretty simple in terms of how you can make a fucking song, man. The slightest of change-ups. So American Nightmare is kind of like rock and roll. It's like it's not even. It's, I guess you could say garage rock, but it's like Elvis rock, man. He's actually kind of singing once again, kind of like in the style of Elvis. At about 9 seconds, he comes in. There's clapping at about 43 seconds. The song structure wise, I can't really pick up. Once again, maybe there is. I heard American Nightmare at some point. But maybe it'll be more noticeable in the lyrics. But it kind of just there were change-ups for sure, but like he didn't really change up his singing, his style of singing at all at any point in the song. Really, it was kind of just straightforward, man. London Dungeon is also pretty classic. I only recently got into this track. In terms of vocals, you got drums, bass kind of starts at literally 1 second, guitar comes in at 6, kind of transitions at 13, verse comes in at 24, there's like a bridge at 34, goes back to the verse at 40, chorus at 52, bridge at 109, verse at 114, chorus at 125, 148 is the verse, and then exactly 201 is the chorus, and it kind of closes out that way. Very ominous punk. The Misfits really fucking killed it for in terms of horror punk. Like the Ramones, they kind of had a bit of horror punk. You got like Pet Sematary and stuff, and even the Clash. But like this is like kind of the only band around this time. You got like even the Cramps, for example. Not too many bands were doing that kind of horror. You got even like Black Sabbath. I guess you could even say the Doors. Even I'm sure there are several more that I just fucking can't even think of right now. Screaming Lord Sutch, even Alice Cooper. Really, it's kind of like a subgenre within a subgenre. You got like it's horror punk, which is punk, which is alternative rock, which is rock. Definitely for like London Dungeon, you're definitely getting that fucking. You sound like you're in a fucking this musty ass dungeon. A bunch of fucking either skeletons or even fucking rotting corpses around you, in various cells. Now on Horror Hotel, at the very beginning, the guitar has like this like train chugging sound before the band comes in. It almost has this very similar song structure and even sound as Earth AD / Wolf's Blood. It's not as filled in. I mean, there's a little bit more free space or atmosphere in it. It's definitely this garage rock, faster paced garage rock. But it's not as aggressive. I mean, it doesn't seem like Glenn's as pissed off in this track compared to, once again, Earth AD / Wolf's Blood. Anyway, at about 2 seconds, the band comes in. 7 seconds the verse. Then 33 is the chorus. 41 has a verse bridge, which is kind of different. I've never heard of like a verse bridge before. 43 seconds it goes into the verse. 59 seconds it goes into the chorus. Then once again it goes into this like verse bridge again at 107, and then it finishes out with a chorus at 109. Ghouls Night Out totally reminds me if the Ramones were the Misfits, or if the Misfits kind of structured their song like the Ramones. It's pretty classic punk rock. At about 111, there's definitely this moment though that sounds like Kurt Cobain of Nirvana, but definitely sounds like Nirvana in general. Well, you'll see what I mean, maybe. But anyway, for song structure, it goes verse comes in at 5 seconds, chorus at 24. There's this drum bridge, a little drum fill bridge at 38 seconds, and then it goes into the verse at 39. 58 seconds is the chorus, then verse at 113. But then there's this slight, kind of like I would say it's even like a verse 2, or even like once again kind of like a closeout at 131. I didn't pick up on probably all the drum fill bridges. I just noticed how they did transition from verse to chorus, which it's pretty standardized song structure, but it's nice to literally pinpoint it. Once again, very technical, very specific shit. I know I totally could be like more specific, like saying what fucking chords they're playing and whatnot, but I'm not familiar with that myself. I mean, I'm not doing this to learn how to cover the Misfits. It's literally just kind of what makes the Misfits. So Halloween 2 kind of reminds me of like a laboratory rock and roll, but rock and roll in a laboratory. It has a very similar melody or theme to literally the Halloween, even like similar song structure, sort of. It's a lot more slowed down though. The tempo is slow, but the song structure, as for the introduction anyway, it's kind of like this nice little build up. It's, like I said, reminiscent of the melody of Halloween, their other track. At about 23 seconds, you kind of have this, it almost sounds like either it's like a live performance or Glenn's like not exactly at the mic totally, or like once again this mic's very, it's not that loud. At about like 45 seconds or so, it goes into the chorus of just saying Halloween over and over again. I guess I'll also mention there's like this really bassy voice saying Halloween as well as Glenn. I don't know if it's like if someone actually has that bassy of a voice or if that's fucking edited or something like that. At about like 123 it goes back into that kind of vocal verse thing. Then 138 it goes back to the chorus. Cough Cool starts off with an electric piano. Cough Cool, I think, is like, if I remember right, is like their earliest single, which I believe came off in 1977. I don't know if they added anything else to this track, but it has electric piano again. It's very new wave. At moments, there's like a very new wavy moment. I guess I'll have to look into. I have to find that part. But it almost kind of reminds me, not exactly like Joy Division, but like it's almost post-punk in a way. There's definitely elements of gothic rock throughout all of these tracks, as well as almost like moments of surf rock. Not maybe particularly this track. Definitely almost elements of garage rock. Anyway, it was definitely a very different track. It was very experimental in my opinion. At 12 seconds the verse comes in, 31 seconds there's a chorus, 54 seconds is the verse, and then about 147 it goes into an instrumental break. And like I said, there's this one part that kind of is extremely new wave, but it's only brief at this one moment. Like I felt like I was hoping that it'd come back again, that sound, but it never does. It never did. It's about like 28 seconds in. Like it has like this like new wave electric charge or something, almost like Devo. So as I said before, Rat Fink is a cover, originally by Alan Sherman, Johnny Lee Willis, and Deacon Anderson. It starts off with a chorus at 5 seconds, and then it goes into like a guitar solo at 49, and then it goes back to the chorus at 102, which closes out the song. It's just a faster paced version of the original, like a punk twist. It's kind of like "We're Gonna Rock Around the Clock" by Bill Haley in his Comets. That kind of sound, that classic kind of rock and roll. Even like Little Richard. So horror business is more in line with Static Age or Walk Among Us. It's still very kind of garage rock, that horror punk. It's not too, it's not as aggressive as Earth AD / Wolf's Blood. There's I kind of got a little bit maybe a little specific, I guess, in the song structure this time around. 6 seconds the verse comes in, 17 seconds chorus 1 comes in, then there's a slight little like instrumental bridge, then it goes into the verse at 27 seconds, goes into a chorus at 37 seconds, but then it has this slight little chorus bridge at 44 seconds, and then it goes into like a second chorus at 47, before going into a regular instrumental bridge at 105. Verse comes in at 110, then it jumps back to chorus 1 at 120. There's a bridge at 126, instrumental bridge, and then it goes back to the verse at 130. You got chorus 1 at 141, then you got a chorus bridge at 147, chorus 2 at 151, which kind of closes out with this instrumental closure at about 225. I'm not sure how many more times I should say, it's fucking gothic rock, horror punk, faster paced garage rock. It's horror themed. What more can I say, man? I'm sure there's plenty. Now I understand, like, based on everything that happened, like, Static Age wasn't released until well later after it was recorded. Fucking couple decades even. I think it was like 95. It was recorded in like 78, I think. But all these tracks seem to kind of be all, in level with, like I said, Static Age and Walk Among Us. What I was gonna say is, like, I don't know. I wish they didn't like re-release like so many of the same songs. I know some of them are edited and some of them, have been overdubbed and whatnot. Things have been added. It's kind of like Joy Division, where like you can like collect like 3 or 4 compilations, and like you'll probably be able to get maybe all the tracks, besides clearly their studio albums. But I guess they're called B-sides for a reason. I don't know, man. Like, listening to all these tracks, I've listened to some of my other favorite bands, and based on their variations, there's a definitive. I'm jumping all over the place. First and foremost, all these tracks that I've listened to after Earth AD are, like I said, more in line with Static Age and Walk Among Us. Not so much Earth AD. Earth AD kind of is like its own thing in a way. There are some moments, like, once again, Die Die My Darling, which I haven't gotten to yet. Apparently that was thrown onto Earth AD later on. The change up. There's some songs like like Rat Fink is not as in line with that horror punk theme. It's more that, like I said, faster paced, like a punk flavored classic rock. Not even classic rock, just like rock and roll or whatever. Classic rock, I'd say, is like kind of like 60s, 70s. It's so funny to think you got rock and roll, and in my opinion, we got rock and roll, and then it turns into classic rock. Some tracks do have, fucking electronic piano. Yes, there are some slight differences, but for the most part, it's all pretty consistent, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I like consistency. Really, who doesn't? Children in Heat is in line with Static Age and Walk Among Us, but it is very experimental in terms of song structure. Like it's garage rock, it's horror punk and whatnot. Starts off with guitar, but then about 5 seconds, the drums there's a drum fill that brings in the rest of the band, which then once again at 5 seconds as well, the verse starts up. There's this pre-chorus, I want to call it 16 seconds. Then you got chorus 1 at 25, chorus 2 at 37, and then it goes back to verse 1 at 59 seconds. Then there's a pre-chorus again at 109. Then it goes into the second chorus at 118. 128, there's like it's still chorus 2, but it's more filled in. Just in terms of the atmosphere and the sound itself gets a little louder. And then it kind of closes out at 159. But once again, in terms of like with Kurt Cobain's vocals, it just reminds me, like the 128 and 159 just reminds me once again of, I don't know, it's just weird. I mean, I know Nirvana came well after the Misfits. Die Die My Darling is another fucking classic. Like, this one definitely should have been fucking somewhere, not just a single. I mean, technically, it's fucking on Earth AD / Wolf's Blood now, as well as, a couple other fucking compilations. First and foremost, once again, Die Die My Darling should definitely not be on Earth AD. It sounds nothing like the rest of those tracks. And if it's supposed to be, then it's only the last remnants of whatever the Misfits were originally. In terms of song structure, Glenn Danzig's a little bit of a madman here. At about 6 seconds is a chorus, 30 seconds is verse, but like the verse is kind of like this call. It's not exactly a call and response, but I mean it's kind of like almost like a chorus part 2 in a sense. It's weird. He keeps on saying, "Don't try to be a baby," but anyway, continuing on, it goes at about a minute. It's a chorus. At about 124, it's back to that kind of verse / like chorus 2 or what, I don't even fucking know. And then 154 is the chorus, and then at 218 he blends the two together and it becomes this verse chorus chorus verse. It's kind of just it's interesting because once again all he's saying is just saying "Die Die My Darling" for the chorus, and then once again for verse, I mean he's got actual other lines, but while also repeating that same line. Don't try to be a baby. I mean, I just double check just to make sure it's not on fucking Static Age or Walk Among Us. But once again, Die Die My Darling is a pretty classic track, and it's just surprising that it just happened to. I mean, it technically is on a studio album now, I guess, in a sense. But yeah, I don't know. It's just another classic Misfits track. It's horror punk. It's the fucking. It's a beautiful track, man. So We Bite is closer to Earth AD. It's not as harsh, I think, but or aggressive, I guess. But it is pretty aggressive. 5 seconds. I mean, it's kind of like a chorus 1, chorus 2 kind of thing. He kind of repeats himself a lot, but 5 seconds is the chorus. 15 is either the verse or chorus 2. 26 is chorus 1. 35 is verse or chorus 2, 46 is chorus 1, 51 is verse or chorus 2, and then 103 is chorus 1 again. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah. Mephisto Waltz closes this thing up before I get into the lyrics anyway. I'll just get to the song structure first. 8 seconds is the verse, chorus is 16, which is just literally them just shouting "whoa." I mean, it's just a punk anthem. Verse at 23, chorus at 38, verse at 46, chorus at 53. Sweet little guitar solo at 108. Goes back to the chorus at 115, and then it closes out at 131. It's kind of like a closing chorus. Like I said, it's just a little punk anthem. Dropkick Murphys, for example. Now, this track, I can totally understand why it wouldn't be on a studio album, and if it was, it'd just be a filler track. I mean, it's just nice little, almost like interlude of sorts. I mean, they just kept on saying "whoa" over and over again, so. And it was very similar in themes of Die Die My Darling in terms of the the lyric structure. But I guess I'll leave it at that. Alright, so the narrator for Earth AD is describing Earth like a living hell, and then also kind of proposing like, how hell isn't that bad, and blah 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 blah. Like literally, Kingdom Come is not so bad. AD bloody hell is not so bad. Just kind of the message is just pretty much the narrator kind of describing, like I said, Earth being a living hell for them. Apparently, it's about The Hills Have Eyes, that movie by Wes Craven. You bet your life there's gonna be a fight. You bet your life because the hills have eyes, I said. I haven't seen The Hills Have Eyes just yet. Coincidentally, I have it on a list to watch very shortly. I have the Shudder app. The lyrics still kind of come off as like a little ambiguous. Just kind of coming to life this world of hell, I guess. And you can definitely see this is kind of definitely a precursor to where Danzig goes after this album and this band particularly. One could assume that the narrator is pretty fucking frustrated with their situation. The message overall is pretty nihilistic. Queen Wasp kind of reminds me of Vampira. I mean, especially a lot of the lyrics, anyway. Vampire girl gonna strike to kill, gonna kiss your vertebrae with the kiss of poisoned love. Human looking from the thorax up, human stomach and a tiny waist. I mean, instead of describing Vampira, I guess it's describing a queen wasp. Or specifically a wasp-human hybrid. The verse or stanza right before the last chorus is just pretty sexual. It's, just a little metaphor. Gotta wanna see it, baby. Put the stinger in your back, baby. Hot stinger and burning, baby. Human arms and a head of your love. Think nothing about eating your love. Think nothing. I'm a king and you're a queen. It's been a couple months at least since I've listened to some of the Misfits albums in depth. I've definitely listened to some tracks since then, but I don't know, some of these tracks come off kind of regurgitated, especially with the lyrics. The only evolution for this band that I see anyway is they got faster and angrier. For Devil Lock, the lines that really speak to me the most are, don't mess with demon offspring, gonna make this world bleed, gonna make it pay, gonna rip its core out, I am cancer, I am a devil lock, I'll rip your heart out, I'll pluck your eyes out. Once again, the narrator's just really fucking pissed off. Kind of just like literally stepping away from that playful metaphor message. All that imagery, it's just pretty much being straightforward of this person's gonna cause pain and suffering. Death Comes Ripping is a pretty spiteful message, filled with probably vengeance or revenge, and wishing the worst on someone. Your future is coming, your future is a chopped up, hacked up, heaving piece of meat. When the door flies open, hot wind approaches you, feel the heat, boy, feel the heat as it burns your balls off. Death comes ripping, then you know it. This narrator hates particularly somebody or fucking hates a lot of people, I'm not sure. But this is like a blind hatred right now. Maybe it's not blind. It's at least a very strong fury. To quote Green Hell, I fucking shake apart in hell, green hell. Gotta find a way that you will stay, green hell. Cannot forget the heat, in hell, green hell. Hell is green, I need a flame, in hell, green hell. I'm sure this is a continuation of Death Comes Ripping. Still this vendetta, like hate for this person, and wants to see them remain in this hell, even if they're there too. The narrator is in there too, because I guess they already feel like they already are. Wolf's Blood is pretty much a continuation of the message that's come from Death Comes Ripping, as well as Green Hell. Just quote it. But I guess the narrator is saying that they're going to turn into a werewolf or a wolf like creature. Well, they're not. I don't know if they're exactly saying a wolf, but in verse 2 apparently, it's wolf's blood. It's pumping like it's fucking in my veins. I'm going to get it up and I'm going to break it up, and I'm going to break his head with my arms. "Oh hey, know why you're dead." There was a level of sophistication in Glenn Danzig's lyrics for, say, the Walk Among Us or even Static Age. But by this point, it's just literally kind of, like I said, stone-headed. It's just fucking slamming your head into a wall repeatedly, and you're just angry. That feeling starts boiling through my face red, and I feel my heart expand, and I feel my muscles rip, and I feel my snout expand. Then I know I'm not a man. There are still horror themes, but it's like, you know, uh, kind of on the sideline compared to the anger and hostility that the narrator feels. Look upon me, I am a beast. My father was a wolf, my mother was a whore. That's pretty much all you gotta get from fucking Demonomania. Just once again, it's just a continuation of a narrator being extremely frustrated with their situation. I'm honestly sure that most of these fucking tracks are based on movies. So I mean, like Glenn's still kind of riffing on that idea of making songs based on B movies, but I mean, Blood Feast seems to actually be like the first one that seems to kind of be like a step back from kind of what the Misfits were beforehand. Though I mean, once again, it's still pretty fucking aggressive, and so I mean, when they pull out her tongue, pull off her face, pluck out her eyes, then the blood must flow. When it drips from the mouth, be forewarned, be prepared for a grisly blood feast. I'm obsessed with your death, obsessed with your blood, obsessed with your demise, and then a great big blood feast. So I mean, overall, it's like about wanting someone's demise through a metaphor like cannibalism. It could be even like vampirism. The lyrics almost remind me of like a band like Cannibal Corpse. Hellhound finishes off this album, still wanting vengeance and someone's demise, but through the ownership of a pet, a way of instilling fear, not by the hands of, I guess the enemy, but the enemy's fucking best friend. Got a hellhound dog, the kind that wants to rip your face off. Got a hellhound dog in a howl of evil and fur, and it's a howling pain that splinters your bones with a crack. Got a hellhound dog. Gotta know that the night means death for those who seek it out, for those who stand accused. In conclusion, for that album anyway, just the message of frustration and revenge, as well as wanting someone's demise. Who killed Marilyn is just simply asking that question. Who killed her? Was it LAPD? Was it the Kennedys? Could it have been the pack? Did she simply just overdose? The narrator doesn't think so. Or they fucking know so. Where Eagles Dare is kind of like this, I mean, it's not literally tongue-in-cheek per se, but, it's kind of that, if someone were to be getting fucked with or, had some kind of hatred for somebody, I mean, this person's kind of just brushing it off like it's fucking no big deal. Because the narrator knows who they are. We walk the streets at night, we go where eagles dare. They pick up every movement, they pick up every loser. With jaded eyes and features, you think they really care? I ain't no goddamn son of a bitch. You better think about it, baby. I mean, realistically, this narrator is still kind of wishing, demise upon somebody. The omelet of disease awaits your noontime meal. Her mouth of germicide, seducing all your glands. Let's test your threshold of pain. Let's see how long you last. Realistically, man, it seems like Glenn Danzig was a little delirious for Earth AD, in my opinion. Alright, so for Halloween, for example, this is a perfect example of Glenn Danzig at some of his best lyrical work, man. I'd literally be willing to recite this entire fucking song if I'm allowed to. I mean, fucking A, man. Bonfires burning bright, pumpkin faces in the night. I remember Halloween. Dead cats hanging from poles. Little dead are out in droves. I remember Halloween. Brown-leafed vertigo, where skeletal life is known. I remember Halloween. This day anything goes. Burning bodies hang from poles. I remember Halloween. Candy apples and razor blades. Little dead are soon in graves. I remember Halloween. Like, dude, honestly, that's a really good fucking... Dude, I wish I fucking wrote a song like that, dude. That's perfect. I mean, like, once again, like, it's just so... That's horror punk, like, in a nutshell. It's a pretty good description of Halloween, man. or what we fantasize Halloween to be like. American Nightmare is once again another return to that Misfits mythos compared to once again Earth AD, which was just way too aggravated and aggressive and aggro in general. I mean, this one once again is that tongue-in-cheek kind of. I mean, this person, the narrator, may want someone's demise or whatever, but like, it's still kind of like like. I put an axe in my baby's head. I'm gonna end up doing time. She looks so good in red. So I mean, like once again, like just even though something like that, like that's clearly something that'd be fucking crazy to do. But this person's still kind of almost it's definitely some gallows humor, man. It's a little story in a song, man. It's like its own little fucking horror movie. I mean, once again, this is probably based on a fucking B movie, but hot Chevy on a Friday night. That's the setting right there. You got the killer and the fucking killer's lover, which they just killed. So, I mean, once again, I put an axe in my baby's head. They just did that. I'm going to end up doing time. And it's just kind of like, this person trying to figure out, not exactly, I guess not trying to figure out, but just kind of, figuring out that, they only got so much time. So it's just like, what are they going to fucking do? I'm headed down the highway. Sign has 3 inverted 9s. If the Lord don't get me, the devil will, but not without a fight. I'm going to be going out of order for the order that I put the B sides and singles, but starting off with Horror Business. On face value, Horror Business seems to be about Psycho, the movie. My bathroom is new, you don't go in the bathroom with me. Psycho 78, which I guess references Sid Nancy and Sid Vicious's relationship. Apparently Sid killed Nancy. I don't care to talk about whether he did it or not. I'll put a knife right in you. I'm warning you. I'll put a knife right in you. London Dungeon is about how Glenn Danzig and Bobby, I believe Steele, had to go to a British jail for a couple days. They called us walking corpses, unholy living dead. They had to lock us up, put us in their British hell. Make sure your face is clean now. Can't have no dirty dead. All the corpses here are clean, boy. All the Yanks in British hell. Even though the song's based about discrimination, they only spent a couple days in jail. I still love this song anyway. Apparently Glenn Danzig and Bobby were just defending themselves. I think Glenn grabbed some broken glass or something like that, and Bobby ran for some police. I definitely got that information off of Genius. So, I mean, once again, another example of the Misfits being more tongue-in-cheek and their mythos or nature, and how Earth AD was kind of like out of nature, or out of character. This is a ghoul's night out, suffer unto me, devils and fallen angels all, ghouls in every form. The human hell of eating flesh, it's my destiny. Hell is where you ought to be, I feel the hell of you and me, I feel it every day, hell is where you want to be. I feel the hell of you and me, it never goes away. So, I mean, and then to finish it, to eat meat, to eat flesh, it's my destiny. It's tongue-in-cheek, he might be frustrated or angry, but, he's not exactly lashing out in complete fucking frustration and anger. I'm just assuming that he went through some bad shit at the time, and that's probably why he was so fucking frustrated. I mean, he definitely went down a metal rabbit hole, for sure, with Sam Hain and Danzig and whatnot. So it wasn't a short-lived frustration, or anger, or vendetta, or whatever. For Die Die My Darling, it's another title off of a B movie or whatever, or even a horror movie, either or both. But once again, just this tongue-in-cheek kind of nature. It is kind of, I guess, in lieu of that Earth AD kind of mentality, but don't cry to me now, baby. Your future's in an oblong box. The narrator is simply saying that this other person is dead to them. Cough Cool is a pretty nice introduction for the Misfits. This street we walk upon, this corner full of piss and fear. This street won't bear it long. It slants, it tilts, it's brought outside. Alive. Kind of an example of the settings that Glenn Danzig's kind of known for in his lyrics. I mean, I don't really write settings myself in my lyrics, usually. Once again, it's kind of written like a story more than how a song is typically written. Though I will say stories and songs are not uncommon. The narrator's depicting a very wasteland-like city. Cover your face when you walk by. Drench your visions in darkness, spit up blood when you cough. We dine on visions with new eyes. We cut our visions with two eyes. I could be stretching here, but I think the narrator is kind of suggesting a little bit of optimism. We cut our visions with two eyes. Once again, I could be stretching, but I think it's just like, we create our own paths. We are our own destiny. Ratfink just pretty much has the two words of just ratfink. Fink just means an unpleasant or uncomfortable person. Halloween 2 has verses in Latin. Someone on Genius deciphered it. It's just like chanting like witches and ghouls and wolves and demons and shit. The second verse says, I say the transformation into a werewolf is possible. Mephisto's waltz is a chanting for darkness to grow. Waltz into the darkest feeling, waltz without a blink I go, waltz to the devil's ballet, waltz to Mephisto, waltz the devil's dance, waltz in the twilight gray, waltz darkness grows much faster, waltz it's gonna be so great. We Bite is kind of a blending of those two worlds of that way too aggressive punk attitude for like Earth AD and like that horror theme that Glenn Danzig's kind of known for, that sophisticated ego, I guess. We Bite just sounds like werewolves on rampage. We walk the streets, I'm out to get you, we bite. Just a feast of gore and blood, we bite. Carnivores live for pleasure. Strike out like a wolf's endeavor. And when I get your blood, I rip your throat. Children in Heat is basically about how young people pretty much rebel more often than not. Children in Heat, they have no conscience, no resistance. You can't control them. Why I'm running away and away, they're always gonna run away. Our young little kindlewood, I see them burning. Unless this is a B-movie title or like a horror movie title, I'm not sure why of the reference to Chicago. They all changed their names to Chicago. I mean, I could be stretching here. It could be like meaning they all changed their names. They all wanted to become something bigger than they actually were originally. And I think that's pretty much it. I don't really feel like I have much more to say. So with that being said, take it easy. And thanks for listening.